Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess. I don't know if you can see Nigel here giving side eye as he usually does. And this is not a typical episode of Book CommuniTEA. I am so sorry, but I think it's worth watching if you are a regular viewer of this series on my channel. So if you watched last week's episode all the way through the end, you saw that I kind of got upset and emotional in the video because just the state of the world, the state of publishing is really overwhelming, and sometimes doing these videos can become a bit much. The comments were so nice under that video. I love y'all so much. I can't believe that I have such an incredible and supportive community around me. And a lot of people were saying like, you should take a break. I feel like this is wearing on you. And just know that if I need to, I definitely will. And I'm taking that break this week. But I just kind of wanted to chat about, obviously you know what this is, but how I hope to continue it going forward, and ways I may like try to balance out the negative with the positive, and then would be welcome to any suggestions that you have. So I just wanted to chat about that. So there will be a tea video next week, next Tuesday. I am so sorry I had to wait a week, but if you are newer to my channel, I have a whole playlist of Book CommuniTEA videos if you want to go back and watch some of the shenanigans that started since last July, I think is when I started it. So Book CommuniTEA, if this is your first time watching the video, welcome. But this is a series I started on my channel last year, and I think it was around July, because I am a lover of Twitter. I get up in the morning, I look at Twitter. Before I go to bed at night, I look at Twitter. And so I'm also a part of Book Twitter, or follow lots of authors and readers on Twitter, so I hear the latest gossip or news that's going on in the book community. However, this is a problem with all of Twitter, but especially on Book Twitter, because I want to be in the know. People love to subtweet when there's an issue going on. And I became so frustrated with this. So when something was happening last year, there was like drama between Book Talk, so book creators on TikTok, and Book Twitter. And so I was like, I'm gonna make a video because I'm tired of all these subtweets, and maybe other people can appreciate it because I pieced the story together. And so that did well. I did it again when there was drama surrounding the reading rush, which is a huge readathon in the booktube, book Twitter community. And that one did exceedingly well. And so my plan wasn't to do them every week. I was like, okay, maybe once a month, but things just started happening. And I don't know if more things started happening or my following just grew, so more people found me and sent me more information. Either way, here I am today. I'm very grateful for all of the people who have found me because of these videos. And while sometimes they can be very stressful and a lot of work to do, I still find joy in making them because it not only teaches me different things just about, I learned so much about the publishing industry and different things with author deals and just all of these things I didn't know. So maybe things that are more behind the scenes by doing these videos and just other things. And then I learned so much from people in the comments who give me information or correct me or point me in the direction of something else. So these videos, while some people may just look at it as like drama, which some of it is, some of it's really petty, some of it's bigger than that and more important and stuff I want to continue sharing. I am really proud of how this series has grown, because first it started with just little petty things, and now I include things about publishers, like the publishing houses and who bought who and who's publishing what, and certain author controversies. So I think I decided also to make this video because, as you know, I talk about Ashley from Bookish Realm a lot. Love her channel. And she has brought up in videos or in live streams, like talking about content on YouTube and growing on YouTube, that it always for her comes down to like, what is your purpose? What do you want the purpose of your channel to be? And when I started my channel, honestly, I didn't know. I was just like, I like books and I have time right now, so I'm gonna make these videos. And so as I've grown and this series continues, I've realized that I still love petty drama when it does not involve me. But I also love the bigger things that I get to learn about and tackle and bring up on this channel, because I love spreading that awareness. I have always had a small desire to teach, but not like in a traditional setting. And I think this is my way of teaching and educating. And obviously not saying that everyone who comes to my channel is like ignorant of everything, but I do get comments like, I didn't know this about publishing, or I didn't know this about how this works, and neither did I. So I also get to learn, which I also love. I just literally want to be a professional scholar. Like when my parents are like, what are you gonna do when you grow up? And I'm like, I just want to learn. I just want to learn things. And that's it. So I both get to be a professional scholar, and I get to in turn share a little bit of that with you all, and in a way that I enjoy doing it. So that is kind of how I have decided I want to continue with my channel. I still read books, fiction and nonfiction. I want to share those with you as well. And so I feel super grateful that my platform has grown this quickly, and I just want to continue sharing things that can make us as a community more aware, so that we have all the information, or as much information as possible, making choices on who we read, what we promote. So that's my goal. And if my channel may not be what someone's looking for when they're looking for a booktube channel, and that's totally fine, but that's kind of my goal with this. I still want to have fun, maybe still would do the rant review, still, throw shade, but I just appreciate that so many people have found this, and I feel like I have this platform to do some amount of good. Last week's video, I was just really disheartened because so much of the things that are going on in the world and in publishing just seem like we can't make a difference. And so many people in the comments made me feel so good. Like I literally was crying reading y'all's comments, but happy tears. Because you're like, you are making a difference with this, even if you don't feel like it. And that just felt really incredible to me, because I don't ever want these videos to be in vain, or I don't make them to make everybody sad and upset about everything that's going on. And so I'm not stopping this anytime soon. I do need to take more breaks probably. And I also want to find more positive news to include. Maybe in December, I did a positivity episode. And sometimes it's honestly hard to find enough stuff to put into one. So maybe if there's a lot of things happening, I can make one. I just don't want to be too repetitive, because there are some other people who do kind of more news related content, talking about new adaptations or whatever goes on. But I could do that, or at least try to find one piece of positive news to put in at the end of a tea video, just so we don't always end these videos so down and disheartened. And I refuse to give up. I don't have a lot of money. A lot of us don't have a lot of money. Our voice isn't as loud, but I'm just going to continue trying. And, maybe one day, if we keep doing enough, we keep making enough noise, we keep letting them know that this is not okay, how they should run these publishing companies and how they choose to allocate their funds, then maybe one day we'll see change. And maybe it won't be in my lifetime. It probably won't be. But not to get all, too personal on you, but in therapy last week, I was talking up to my therapist about, I have this in my head. To me, I very much often question my purpose. What's my point on this earth? And what's the point of living if I'm not going to be remembered? And she, was trying to help me work through that, and saying you're obviously making an impact now. If you really want to talk about being remembered, your videos are going to be on the internet for as long as the internet exists. And I was like, well, that is true. And so if this is my purpose, my whatever, then I'm going to ride with it and enjoy it. This is a labor of love. I never imagined it would turn into this and grow so quickly. And so I'm grateful. I'm going to continue to try to bring you great content, and sassy Nigel when he wants to cooperate, because sometimes he can be a diva to work with. I want you to know this. But that's kind of me rambling about my whole intent and purpose moving forward with this, to continue the same thing and to do my part in trying to bring light to things that maybe companies want to keep in the dark, and letting you know about behavior that is not acceptable. So then you can make your own decision on who you want to support and who you want to read. Let you know about books that I love by all sorts of people. I love to get recommendations from you. I feel like, yes, I'm very much the creator and you are my subscribers in a very stiff way, but I definitely feel the community vibe, because I feel like I learn and gain so much from y'all. I try to read every comment. I haven't done that many live streams, but every time I do them, it's so amazing. I feel so loved and appreciated. My last random one, such a vibe. But I guess I'm making this video to just ramble on about how amazing y'all are, and that I was feeling really down after my last video last week, but your comments have just really raised my spirits, really awoken me, and just kind of reaffirmed that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. This is where I am right now, and I think this is what I'm supposed to do. Even though my mother's always like, when are you gonna get a real job? And I'm like, ma'am, I don't need that negative energy in my life. She's like, when you come back to the States. I'm like, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it. Please leave me alone. So I hope trying to find more positive things to include will help. I don't know if you have any kind of ideas about how to make it less sad in the videos. And they're not all sad. Some of it is just like popcorn drama, and some things are more serious than that. But I just want to try to continue to do those things and to let you know I am okay. If it is getting to a place where it's too much, I'm going to take a break. And so after I filmed that video, I think I filmed it on Thursday, I kind of took it easy on social media the next couple days, which really helped. And then I caught back up on like comments and things. So I do need to learn when to take a break and when to not be so hard on myself. But I love to put up videos because then I get comments, and I love reading the comments from y'all. So it's so hard. Anyway, all that to say, Book CommuniTEA is not going anywhere. If you want to throw any kind of suggestions you like to see down there, let me know. And just a note that I am only one person, and as much as I love my co-host Nigel, he does not help me a lot besides being cute and sassy. So I can't cover everything, or some things just may be delayed, and I do my best. And I also want to clarify in my video on Saturday, because I've seen this a lot in the comments of the person messaged me, and I feel horrible that I don't think I explained it well. So on a video, I got a comment from someone that said, your videos are really, it was something about your videos are boring and you are too scared to call out big creators, was the comment. Then another person responded and was like, no, I think, she usually does cover people. The latest one was about Carrie. I messaged, and then I replied and was like, oh, who is Carrie? I haven't heard of them. And said, oh yeah, like I messaged you a month ago on Instagram, but such and such and such, and explained it. So the person who said my channel was boring was not the same person who recommended the Carrie video, and no one bullied me into doing the video. I don't think I explained that well, so I apologize. That's on me. And thank y'all for, I know that my videos are not boring to most people because they get great views compared to other videos that I do. So I just was feeling salty, and I added that comment, but that's how it happened. Someone said, your videos are boring and you don't cover big booktubers because you're scared. And someone else was like, no, she usually does. The only one I haven't heard her cover is this one. I replied, and then they told me that they had sent me a message on Instagram. And so that Instagram, like people you haven't talked to, they're in this one. Well, I get really overwhelmed at messages on Instagram. So I try to get through those. Like sometimes I can get through a couple a day and sometimes I can't. So that was me being like, oh shit, I didn't see that one. Went back and found it was like kind of an anonymous account. So anyway, I am really sorry if you are watching. Like I didn't mean for that to come across like you bullied me into covering that. No, it was more so that original poster saying I'm scared to cover big booktubers. I am not scared of anyone. If they, are doing something wrong and I know about it, I'll bring attention to it. But if I don't know, I can't, I can't be on all aspects of the bookternet, if you will. So just wanted to clarify that. And I'm just going to be clarifying it, responding to comments to people. But once again, thank you all so much. Y'all are all incredible. I love you. Your comments always make me feel so good. And I always tell Nigel, I'm like, Nigel, they said hi. They love you. If he could read, he'd be crying with me too. Reading the comments. But, I want us to be a better community. I know we can be at odds sometimes, but at least here in this little Jess, Owens, Nigel group, I feel like we're here, and I love that for us. But sometimes this news can be a lot. And then in addition with the world and the dumpster fire that it is, we live amongst a penny proud. And so it becomes too much. So we all need to take care of ourselves. Obviously, I'm a big advocate for therapy. Also, if you have any medications you need to take, please don't feel ashamed to take those. You need to take them, and just take time to do things you enjoy. If that's reading romance, read romance. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a guilty pleasure. If you just want to read fan fiction, read fan fiction. There's nothing wrong with that. If you just want to rewatch The Falcon Winter Soldier Boy or whatever on Disney Plus, do that. I feel like the guilty pleasure notion is kind of harmful, and if it's bringing you joy and not harming other people, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to knit or crochet or cross stitch, play The Sims for 48 hours without taking a shower, nope. I'm not gonna say that play The Sims for 48 hours without blinking. As long as it is not hurting anyone else and not hurting you, I don't want you to be hurting yourselves. Do things to bring yourself joy and take care of yourself, because this world is wild. And so that's all for my rambles today. And you know, I want you to stay blessed, stay hydrated, sunscreened, and moisturized. And please check out the links in my descriptions, links to my social medias, ways to support my channel, and information about things that are going on right now in the world. I would like to add that India is really going through it right now because of COVID and because of how people are being fucking rude with the patent to the vaccine. Anyway, I have a link to an article that explains what's going on in India and all of like verified ways you can donate. I know for American citizens, the USD goes a really long way. I'll put the conversion on the screen. So if you can donate anything to help them get oxygen, to get other things that they need, that would be incredible, because again, it always has little people doing things when it should be the big people in power. But what are we gonna do about it, right? We have to keep showing up and keep trying, and maybe one day this little spinning rock will be a better place for future generations, you know, maybe. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the Nigel in my mind. Do, 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 do. Was that to your liking? Do you approve? He approves.